right, guys, something different that we've never done before, and exactly what you think this is what it is. We're gonna have a gun sale. Obviously, this stuff is not safe in my home, so those of you that have funny ideas, you're not gonna find it in my home. Everything's in a big safe, bolted to a floor, built into a wall, and except for a small one in our bedroom. But anyway, this is a different collection, and honestly, it's just too much at this point. So we decided to have a sale, and this is about 25 years of accumulation that you're going to have a hard time finding this stuff. We have all kinds of really, really hard to find stuff. Here's a 22 250 in a Remington 700. No UPC stamp. This is before they started doing that even. We have a 270 in a Fleur de Lis black tip stock. Very nice condition. In a 7600. We have everything from BDLs, 243 BDL. So you got just an amazing amount of things to select from. Honestly, you got to look at our site. Here's just if you just want an everyday user, here's a Game Master 760-06. You got a basket weave, Monte Carlo. I think there's 3 or 4 of these guys on there. If you are a Remington collector, it's all here. And when I say it's all here, I have a Remington, a 17 Remington BDL. Very, very hard to find in a 700. I have a 223 Kenzie back up. I'll show this. Well, actually, even this stack right here. We have right here is a blonde odd 6 in a commemorative. Never fired in the box. We obviously have a 200th anniversary, never fired in the box. We have something that another Monte Carlo. I think we have 3 or 4 of these. We might have 5 of these, and the Monte Carlos and 308, 270, if I remember. But the one that, just impossible to find. A Weathermaster Remington in the box, never been fired, odd 6. If you don't know what the Weathermasters are, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a stainless on a synthetic. Factory. If you're not sure what the factory clips cost nowadays, go ahead and look them up. Look up a Weathermaster one. So just the clip alone is a couple $100 sitting in that box. The box itself is all there. That's something that you're going to find. No, you're not going to find anywhere. You're going to find it the day of this sale, which is September 19th, coming up in 4 weeks. We have pre-64s. We have A-bolts. We have Savages. We have some lower dollar stuff. It's not all crazy number stuff. We do have here's a Model 6 with a Boyd's Plainsman on it and Bushnell banner. Just keep that in mind. Even if they have a scope mounted, you got your base, you got your rings, you have a scope on it. You're adding. Those of you that mount stuff on your guns, you know what you're adding. Another one, crazy hard to find, and I put this together with a Boyd stock because it felt more comfortable. So we put a Boyd's thumb hole on it, but that's a 7615 in a 223, which takes AR mags. So Remington 7615, obviously that's the police run. So you got 6mm, one of 250 in the 6mm. And I want to show you probably one of the ones that took me the longest to find. This one right here. And this is not a corn cob 223. This is a Fleur de Lis black tip 223. Look at this. Look at what this barrel says. Can you see that on there? That is such a hard find, guys. If you have not ever tried to find a black tip 223, go ahead and find me 3 of them, and then go ahead and look at the price. They are incredibly hard to find. We have some new in box, never fired, 6.5 Creedmoors, 770s, ATRs. We have some older stuff. We have some neat stuff. This guy here, honestly, it's a, what is it, return to fire? Is that what they are? Return to slide. So that's a 12 gauge. And there's some ARs. There's there's so much to go over from, there's Ithaca Deer Slayers. There's some old, just simple stuff. There's a few pistols on, fully automatic BB guns. So these are fully auto BB guns. Take CO2 cartridges. We have crossbow. Well, I mean, like I said, you can pretty much just grab something and say, "Wow, that's nice." 22 250 in an ADL 700. So these are all going to be and there we have a set of these. So there's another zebra wood back here, and this is another Remington 700 and a 7 mag, and then we have another Remington 700 and 22 250. So if you're coming to buy 2 guns and you want, I mean, it's a little bit overkill for a deer rifle, but you want a deer rifle and you want a varmint gun, you buy both of those. You have one of the nicest sets you're ever going to find. We have a Rossi in the bag. We have Mossbergs with the stamp still on them. I mean, there's just such a collection around here, guys, that you're going to run the wheels off of your truck twice to find what's in this room. And again, we were really in between whether we wanted to even do a video on this. Exactly what this looks like is what it is. These are not in our home. They have, there's cameras all around it. There's motion sensors around it. So we went through a lot of precaution to make sure this stuff is where it's supposed to be. And some of the stuff has tags on it and so forth. So like I said, it's something that we want to have. It's something we actually want to do again. Hopefully it goes well. Those of you that collect your Remingtons, your pre-64s, your BDLs, your special editions, you know that this is probably one of the hardest things you're going to find as far as collection and what is offered in this collection. So we really are kind of excited to do this. We have 7400s, we have 742s, like I said, a bunch of new in the box stuff. So I can't even remember the entire list because there's just so much. And we also have special ammo. We have a bunch of knives and so on and so forth. It's going to start at 10 o'clock on the 19th. And here's the crazy part we're going to do. Some of this stuff I bought at auctions with 22, 23, and 25% buyer's premium. I paid tax, I paid transfer fees, I paid buyer's premium. So here's how we're going to do this. Every gun, and this is just for the purpose of staying 100% legal. So this is a private collection. This is our stuff, my stuff. It's going to be an offering. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to, say a price, and you're going to agree as we go up. If you catch what I'm saying, we're going to say every gun's $50,000. That's what the gun is, and we'll see what it sells for. So that's how we're going to word it. That's how we're going to avoid everything. The pistols are still going to have a transfer. If you buy a pistol, you will not leave the day of the sale with a pistol. It can be sent to your FFL from an FFL, but you will not leave the day of the sale. So long guns are going to have bill of sale. There won't be tax. I paid tax on everything. There's not going to be a buyer's premium, and that is also incredibly hard to find. So if you're looking for something that is just one, I don't even know if there's one a year anymore like this, honestly. Estate sales sometimes, but usually they're the auctioneer. I've contacted several auctioneers, and it went one of two ways. They either wanted to charge, 10, 12, 8, 7.5, plus all the other fees, or they wanted to charge you 10, 15, 20%. And we just thought, we worked our entire lives to build this collection up, and I have 5 kids. They got to pick a few out that they were interested in, and other than that, they weren't interested. They didn't want to have the responsibility of having such high dollar stuff in their homes, which I don't blame them. They were happy with what they got, and from there, it got to be too much. So we decided, hey, we're going to offer this up. If it works, maybe we'll do it again. If it doesn't, we'll probably go the auctioneer route or the buyer premium route on a proxy bid run. We're hoping we don't have to do that. We're hoping you guys come. We're hoping you show up. We're hoping you know what the values are, and we're hoping you can do the math. You know, let's say a gun, let's say this 223, let's say it goes off of Gun Broker even. Let's just pick an easy one that isn't too heavily premium. If it goes off at 4,500, you got to pay the tax, you got to pay the shipping, and even the shipping nowadays, probably the lowest is about 40, 50 bucks. And then they have their fees and their this and their that. So that's probably the smallest one, and that $4,500 gun ends up being $5,000. Let's say that we're at a sale on proxy bid, and you bid 4,500, add 900 bucks on top of that because they're averaging 20% on a firearm sale right now. It's got the factory clip in it. So, like I said, just something incredibly hard to find. And let's say you buy even a $100 gun. I mean, even if you buy a $100 gun, obviously the math is simple, and they have a 20% premium. You're adding a $20 bill to a $100 gun. So it's just something that you're not going to find hardly anywhere. Plus, that's not even covering the tax and anything else that you're going to get involved. So if you're interested, this is going to be on-site only. We're not doing the internet. That's probably going to be a thing that's going to hurt us. But again, we wanted to try to make sure everybody showed up and they were happy. We wanted to make sure the terms were clear. Again, terms are going to be to keep it a legal transaction because of how we're doing it. Every gun is 50 grand. We're going to see what the best offer is and see where we end up from there. So, you know, kind of read between the lines there. That's how we're going to word this. Then we can sell you the guns directly. We can do it how we want to do it. And whatever your best offer is, we'll see if we can take it. So that's how we're going to word this. That's how we're going to keep it the way we're going to keep it. No fees, no buyer's premium, except the pistols. You will not leave with a pistol the day of the sale. So again, to be very clear, those are going to do FFL to FFL. We're not going to do that. These will all have bill of sale, so that's how they're going to be done. You're going to come to our office. You're going to come to the office. You're going to say, hey, my name is so-and-so. At the end of the sale, the yard sale, we're going to see what numbers we end up with. But like I said, they're not going to have a buyer's premium on them. And we're going to see if we can make this something that makes sense. But those of you that know what these guns are worth, let me be real. I'm not taking $500 for this gun. It will go back in my collection for that. I'm not saying we're going to run retail on everything, but we've kind of painstakingly done this. I've taken my entire workforce and I said, hey, I want you to make a catalog. I want you to do pictures. I want you to clean them up. I want you to set a TV up, and we set our property up, and we set time aside. I'm still not going to give them away. There's stuff here that's going to go, but that stuff that takes so long and it's such a hard thing to find, it's got to be close. If it's a $2,500 gun and we're at $2,000, okay, maybe I can live with that. But if it's a $2,000 gun, roughly, and it's at $500, we just won't do it. So if that makes you upset, I apologize, but that's the way it's going to be. Again, we're not trying to be ignorant about it, but if those of you that are going to make a long drive, before you get here, we want you to know that the stuff is for sale. But if it's not relatively close, it's going to go back in our collection. We were excited to do this, but it's also terrifying because this stuff I know is just stuff, but those of you that are trying to find that really rare 1 out of 250, 1 out of 500, 1 out of 500, 1 out of 4114, serial number new in the box, they don't make them anymore. They don't make a Remington 760, a 7615, pre everything, pre 64 model 70s, lever action 44, like that stuff. It's not something that you find often. So if it doesn't bring pretty close to its money, tell me that you would do any different. Tell me that you would do any different if you had a $2,000 gun bringing $500. You'd say, not today, folks. I'm sorry. So that's where we're at. Hopefully we can make a good day out of it. Hopefully the stuff is, honestly, I'm hoping that everybody can do the math and say, hey, why would I give to the fees when I can maybe save a little bit? Let's look at this the other way. If it's a $4,500 gun and I would have had to either balance that with the auctioneer fees and get $5,000 out of it. Let's say that it bids 46. Well, I'm still in the good. You're still in the good because you're not paying 54. So that was the idea of this. Again, wording of the day is it's a yard sale. Every gun's 50 grand, and we are going to see what the best offer is, and we're going to hope that everything leaves. So if you're interested in an amazing sale, come take a look at us. Give us a call. It's going to be September 19th. That's the day of the sale. There's nothing before that. Nothing's going to leave before that. We can do phone bids. If you're going to do a phone bid, get all your pictures ahead of time. Get all your information ahead of time. We're happy to give very detailed information of the gun. We're happy to go over anything you want to go over. We can do. If it's never been fired, I'm not going to do a shot video. But if it's a used gun, I'm happy to do a shot video. If you want to see, one of the 17s or whatever fire, I don't have a problem with that. But if it's new in the box, it's new in the box. It's got to say new in the box. So that's about it. If you guys are interested, give us a call. It is 570-837-1003 or 570-837-1016. And I hope you can join us for our yard sale. Have a good one.